insecurities, nothing is needed for you to exist. Paramashiva alone is enough for you to live absolutely, blissfully, celebrating, fulfilled, complete, intensely. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashiva's biology. Let macrocosm we carry become one with microcosm. Let the microcosm we carry become one with macrocosm of Paramashiva. Let our organism become one with Paramashiva's organism. Let Paramashiva's organism become one with our organism. Let oneness become living strategy, living experience of all of us. Hum the Mahavagya. Do it intensely. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyaadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam, we welcome every one of you, all the viewers, and everyone else that have joined with us for this live stream. Yesterday and today, we have been learning about one of the very important aspects of Hinduism.
One of the main important center point of Hinduism that keeps the entire Hinduism alive is the temples. And yesterday we learned about the temples, how the temples, the different sciences that's associated with the temple, how our ecosystem, our enlightened ecosystems were completely based on the temples. And today we are going to learn more further deeper about this topic.
The science of temples, how temples always served as a hub for spiritual enlightenment to people, how each of these temple ecosystems that were there stand as a telltale of our glorious past. The advanced architecture, be it the science in which we were advanced, the education, each of it is a representation of the glorious past and the advanced lifestyle that we lived. And we also understood yesterday about how these temples act as an important ecosystem, an important aspect for all of us to learn about, to understand about. Because without temples, we literally lose our knowledge, culture, lifestyle, identity, and religion. And to all the viewers that are joining us live right now, I'd like to start with a question for all of you. Can each of you post here, what do you remember? The moment you tell temple, the moment you listen to the word temple, what do you remember? What do you relate with as temple? And how has temple benefited you? Each of you can take a few minutes and post it on the live. As you're all watching the live, please let us know your thoughts. Please take a few minutes to post it. Temples have always served as a hub for spiritual enlightenment. Anybody, anyone that have come to temple, irrespective of their religion, race, culture, and background, have benefited from it. Be it in terms of architecture, temples served as the place for people to share, spread, experience the knowledge of Hinduism. Temple offered free education institutions.
And temples are literally miniature of cosmos. Like how many of you here have visited any temple, any Hindu temple, if you go to, you will see whether the structure of the gopura, if you see the whole structure, the way the temple is structured, it is so that we can receive the cosmic energy directly into us. Every single structure, whether it is the Garbhagriha or the Dvajastamba, every corner, every nook and corner of the temple, the structure of the temple itself is built in such a way it's directly connected to our physiology. And so that we can, like temples act like amplifiers of spiritual energy. So anybody who goes to a temple receives the full energy directly, the cosmic energy directly inside. Temple literally is a space for divine.
memorial. Not only Hindus, not only the people who belong to the Rishi culture, all over the world, in all traditions, creating a space for divine has become part of our life. Not only in the Hindu tradition, any religion, any master, any group, first thing they do is creating a space for divine. Not only human beings, even animals, when they live together, some of the beautiful researches that nowadays they videograph, some of these beautiful researches, they say even animals don't use a particular area for their eating or for their regular life. Particular area they allot only for rest. They don't use the space for anything else. All they do is only resting. Of course, they don't know anything called worship or prayer. That's the reason they use only for rest. If they know, they would have used for it. We don't know. In every tradition, creating a space for divine or creating a place in which they can relate with the divine has become a part of their culture, part of their life. Here, in this 3 series of discourses, I'll try to explore the science behind the Hindu temples, the idea behind the Hindu temples, why the structures are created, especially if you travel in India, you can see such huge structures. Then this whole university, completely done in granite. Every village of Tamil Nadu will have a much bigger structure in granite. Why? Our ancestors have created such huge structures in every village. What is the need? What culturally, socially, spiritually we got from these huge structures? Why, first of all, they created it? Before entering into the subject, I would like to mention a beautiful scientific study done by a doctor from Rudolph. He went and stayed in Amazon along with a group of tribes for 30 years, not 1 year. 30 years he stayed with them to do some research about their lifestyle. There's an important thing which I wanted all of you to know. So the tribes, they believe by creating an image of a particular person and invoking that person's energy into the image, into the clay idol, they can heal that person or they can transmit any disease to that person. They believe in a phenomenon called transmitting disease or healing disease through a clay image. They create a clay image and invoke his energy into that image. Then they healing through this image or they transmit a particular disease to him, even death. These tribes, they believe this idea. This doctor wanted to understand, study about it. He goes there with all his equipments to do research with his video camera, whatever, to do research, to analyze what is happening behind this whole phenomena. Not 1 year or 2 years, 30 years he stays with them, does a research, and then he publishes a beautiful paper. 3 things mainly he says. He says, if he has observed 100 incidents, more than 98 became true. That's the first statement he makes. He observed, if he has observed 100, more than 98, the disease is transmitted, or the health is transmitted, or the death is transmitted. That's the first thing. Second thing he says, not only to human beings, even to the trees they are able to transmit. That's the second thing he says. They make a clay model of a particular tree, and just by infusing that energy through some vibrations, through some sounds, they make the tree wither and die, or a dead tree is brought back to life. Third thing, not only with the living human beings, even with dead human beings they are able to play. A person who is dead, within 3 days they are able to bring them back, bring that person back to life. It's very mysterious and very strange. If you can get this book called Hidden Mysteries and read it. He gives enough of proof, evidence, and all his case studies and researches, whatever he has done in 30 years, he has published in a book called Hidden Mysteries. Finally, he comes to the conclusion. He gives the conclusion. This group of tribals, they are able to transmit disease or health or death through just clay image, even if the person is thousands of miles away. Even if the person is thousands of miles away. Second thing, not only to the persons, to the trees also, to the animals also. Third thing, not only with the living beings, even with the dead persons, they are able to play. They are able to bring dead persons back to life within 3 days, or they are able to relate, talk to the dead persons for ever. They are able to relate continuously with the persons, even dead persons.
Each of our temples are living, alive, conscious ecosystems. And Hinduism has a glorious record of more than 12,000 years of unbroken traditions and lineages. 12,000 years is just a known number, but Hinduism is, since time immemorial, has been existing. Each temples that we built, be it the carvings, be it the huge towers, each of them acted as satellite centers. Literally, they acted as the both the battery and transformer, which means they could store high amount of energy for a long period of time, and they could also condense that energy into the extent that we can receive and transmit it to us.
And this was one of the main ways how the whole ecosystem was kept alive with enlightenment as the main. And temples, the Guru Parampara, and the temple structure, the whole enlightenment ecosystem that surrounded the entire temple, was the way which kept the entire civilization flourishing. So when the anti-Hindu elements wanted to attack Hinduism. It was this temple structure that they targeted. And let's listen to a small clipping where Swamiji explains the
I am not born in the so-called Brahmin family. I am brought up in Brahminical ecosystem, the temple ecosystem. We call it Kovil Perungudigal. In Tamil we call it Kovil Perungudigal. Means within the 7 prakarams of the temple, all temples, big temples will have 7 prakarams, 7 circumambulation paths. The first 3 is only for gods and goddesses of Kailasa. Other than the gods and goddesses of Kailasa, no one else can stay in the first 3. From 4th prakaram, all the immediate personal attendants of Paramashiva will start staying. Like people who open the temple every day, people who administer the temple every day, people who administer the rituals of the temple every day, people who take care of Paramashiva, his services, Shivacharyas, Adinagartar, Sannidhanam, and Rudraganyas, and animals who directly serve Paramashiva, like cows who give milk for everyday Abhishekam. The elephant which carries the deity every day. Only those animals and those human beings will live in the 4th prakaram. Then the 5th prakaram, that people who are assisting these direct servants of Paramashiva. Then the 6th prakaram, people who make all the things needed to run the temple. Then the 7th prakaram. Like that in all major temples, you will see 7 prakarams. And of course, nowadays all the Kovil Perungudi Makkal, the temple people have been kicked out. All of them have been thrown out when East Indian Company took over the Hindu temples. First thing they attacked is the Kovil Perungudi, the temple people have been attacked and they have been thrown out. See, the whole temple people who belong to Paramashiva, who gave their life to Paramashiva, they actually even legally bound. Please understand, it is not just voluntary service. Legally they are bound by the declaration of the kingdom that they serve Paramashiva, their life is for Paramashiva. For example, if it is a Srirangam, they are legally bound to Parandama, Vishnu, Ranganatha Swami. If they are in Tiruvannamalai, they are legally bound to Paramashiva, Arunachaleshwara. If they are in Madurai, they are legally bound to Meenakshi Sundareshwara. They gave their life and generations. I am born and brought up in that ecosystem. My family was directly responsible for administration, running of the temple, like a king and Sannidhanams. Once the kingdom was taken away, then in the form of Sannidhanams, they were running. Both are from this Adi Shaivite community only, the community in which I am born and brought up. From that sampradaya, from that family only, the king and the Sannidhanam, Raja Guru and Raja, both will be there. But when the Raja was removed by the wars and various anti-Hindu forces attacks, then the Raja Gurus were administering, and then that also got lost, and all these temple people have been kicked out, and all right, whatever has happened, and rest is the history. Listen, I know the whole ecosystem in and out. In and out. All Hindus, don't get cheated by people telling you Brahmins exploit the society. No! Brahmins were the poorest caste, poorest people till now. Till now, only the few Brahmins who ran away from India, escaped and saved themselves, got some jobs in US, became like auditors, lawyers and engineers, made little money, are living a decent life. Don't imagine Brahmins are living a wealthy, rich life. No. The sacrifice of the Brahmin forefathers and all the knowledge they gathered, not even 1% of the copyright wealth Brahmins are enjoying. Don't believe when the anti-Hindu lobby is constantly attacking the knowledge source of Hinduism. Last 400 years, Hinduism is literally left with little life in ICU. If you Hindus continue to be criminally negligent, I don't want to say what will be the effect, because the survival of Hinduism is survival of humanity.
This very truth that Swamiji revealed about how invaders, whether it is the British through the East India Company, or whether it was the anti-Hindu elements, whether it was a Mughal invasions, during all these times, the target was to attack our lifestyle, culture in the form of temple. Because temple served as that center point around which a civilization thrived, an ecosystem functioned. They touched the hand, they put their hand in the heart of that ecosystem by destroying temples. And all of you should know, each of these temples are thousands of years old. And each of the Mughals targeted and destroyed these temples. Aurangzeb, in his own history, he clearly mentions in 1 year he destroyed 132 temples. He was proud about it. He ruled for around 50 years in total. Babur, he destroyed 30,000 temples. He killed 30,000 Hindus and made a skull, a mountain of skulls. There are so many references as to how the forceful conversion was happening. Another example in the history of Tipu Sultan, it is recorded that he had killed 10,000 Hindus, enslaved 7,000 of them in his wars when he was fighting against Travancore, and he took all of them prisoners. And when he had taken them, he took all of them to Srirangpatnam, where they were circumcised and they were made to eat beef and forced to convert to Islam. This way, 70,000 Kurgis, traditional indigenous Hindus tribes, were converted forcefully against their will to Islam. There are so many such very brutal and horrific past that our ancestors have had, where just for the vested interest of a certain anti-Hindu elements, So many of them had to suffer. And it is high time that we revive our culture, our tradition. Where do we have all of that now? Where do we have these advanced sciences building floating pillars or building huge sculptures that stand thousands of years unshaken, unbeatable to this date? Swamiji has taken the responsibility upon himself to revive this. Swamiji's vision for Kailasa's Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Golden Temple is for this very purpose, to collect best from the world and to revive it in the form of a huge temple for Paramashiva.
I was having meeting with the temple architects. How many of you know that the temple construction work is going on? It's actually Balalayam. Balalayam means there's a tradition. Before building the main temple, Moolalayam, we should try all our capacities. That is called Balalayam. We should just exercise our capacity to understand, grasp, and all the different technology, methodology, everything, where we show our capabilities to Sadashiva and try our hand. That is called Balalayam. So as of now, the Balalayam work is going on, where around looking at 400 pillars and 100 ton teakwood and 3000 kg silver and maybe 100 kg gold. All this will be used for Balalayam. Originally the design outside you are seeing, when we were planning, we planned even the temple will be only that size. Now the Balalayam is coming to that size, because many of you are supporting in a big way. I'm looking at planning something like in the volume, size, quality, quantity, everything, it will cross Taj Mahal. So, trying to show this as a face of India. The monument completed, once complete, I am looking at my 50th birthday, today is 40th year over. So 50th year over, that day it will be inaugurated. Inauguration will be on 50th birthday. So 10 more years we have. See, there are 1200 amazing things in Hindu temples. Means, if you go to Devikapuram, in Tamil Nadu there's a place Devikapuram, that Devi temple, there are 12 lions. Inside the mouth, the ball will be rolling. The stone ball. Any of you have seen that? And Dindikkal, there is a temple destroyed by Tipu Sultan. It has a mandapam, 14 pillars. Under all 14 pillars, you can put a hand key and take it out. You can put a cotton sari or hand key under the pillars and pull it out. Any of you have seen that? Raise your hand. Like that, there are 1200 wonders, architectural wonders related to traditional temples. Like a stone chain. In Kanchi Varadaraja temple, there is a stone chain. Any of you have seen that? And Tarasuram, Kailasanatha temple, within 1 square inch, the Purana story. Like that, 7,000 stories are carved. Any of you have seen that? Tarasuram Airavadeshwara temple, near Tanjavur. Just in 1 square inch. 1 story, Purana story. You can actually very clearly perceive. Kanchipuram Kailasanatha temple, there is a 5 steps. If you play with them, you can create even flute sound. Flute sound from stone. Any of you have seen that Kanchipuram Kailasanatha temple? And Tirunelveli Nellayappa Swami temple, Sabdaswara pillar. 7 pillar, inside one pillar, 7 small pillars carved. If you beat them with a coin, you will get all the Sabdaswaras. Any of you have seen that? And all the 108 Tandavas Mahadeva and Devi did in the form of carving in Tanjore temple inside internal Praharam. Rukmini Arundel has photographed all that and published as a book. Any of you have seen that? Like this 1200 most important wonders done in stone we have. I have collected all the 1200, all the 1200 will be in this temple. There will be one mandapam where all 14 pillars you can put your hand key and take it out. Totally 1200 like this. Almost you don't know how it is. Only a person who can decode Agama can tell you how it is. How it is, the 14 pillar. When you put the hand key under one pillar, the others will settle down and this will get lifted up. So when you go the next and this will settle down and that will lift up. So Mandapam was built topsy-turvy and turned. I don't know how many of you are getting it. It was built topsy-turvy. They poured lead and sealed. With the help of the elephants, they turned the whole thing up and left it. Because it is lead poured connection, its own dead weight structure, it just stays. Like this 1200 architectural wonders. Tirunageshwaram Naganatha Swami, if you pour milk on the deity, it will become blue. Any of you have seen that? So it's a unique stone carving. Like this, all the best things, architectural wonders, which you will see if you go around all the temples in India. I have collected them, organizing all of them. The whole thing you can see in one place. It will be almost like you may need to spend 76 hours to enjoy the whole temple. I don't know any of you have seen Avinashi Lingeshwarar. The trunk of the Yali will be separately moving. So in the stone carving, the groove and the separate trunk, without any external fitting, they have carved it. So the face, lion face, and the trunk will be separately moving. Any of you have seen that? Avinashi Sadashiva's temple in Avinashi. And Tiruvanekkaval, Jambulingeshwarar temple. Below the temple, such a way the kind of a stone cabin is built. If the Kaveri overflows, the pressure of the water linga will go up. And the water will seep continuously in Garbhamandir. Tiruvanekkaval Jambulingeshwara Swami. Any of you have seen that? Kalahasti, inside Garbhamandir, only one lamp, heavy air circulation, that lamp will be constantly moving. In no Garbhamandir there will be air circulation. Only in that one lamp, the carving is done such a way, inside the stone the tube structure is carved. The outside breeze is intensified and sent inside like a compressed compressed air, just by the method in which it is carved. The large quantity air is taken in and sent through a small hole, So it becomes like a compressor, air compressor. Whole thing is carved in a stone. Any of you have seen Kailasa temple, Garbha Mandir, that lamp will be constantly flickering. In no Garbha Mandir you can see air circulation. There is only a small hole in that Garbha Mandir. The hole can't even be seen. But outside stone there is a big like a funnel hole. So the breeze, even a small, simple breeze is sucked in and travels through and becomes a small, when it is a small hole, naturally it is compression effect. So that lamp is constantly flickering. Tiruvannamalai temple Garbha Mandir, 20 degree, always high. Because the stone is a unique stone, constantly heat is emanated. Like this, all the different architectural wonders. Maybe after I finish all this, our main work, one day I can give half an hour presentation of how I am bringing all the best things of the Agamas. And see, not only the whole temple will be Agama compliant, it will also have all the beautiful wonders. Exactly on Chitra Nakshatram, the Chitra Nakshatram deity, the sun ray will fall. Next Nakshatram, the sun ray will move the next. Like that the mandapam is going to be built. Because we have mastered the flow of the sun wherever we are settling without any GPS Google Earth. Third eye is our Google Earth. In the Facebook I shared a few days before, Sanjaya explains to Dhritarashtra how the world looks from sky. There is a photograph. Any of you have seen that? Can you just project a clear description? Sanjaya explains to Dhritarashtra how the planet Earth looks from space, and the drawing is done. You will be shocked. Precise. So precise. The verses are so detailed. So I am trying to get all those wonders, sitting and decoding them. That's what I was doing now. Even now I have enough to show. I'll just organize and show it to you guys. So in the Balalayam, I'll be showcasing around 20-25 of these items. In the Moolayam, all 1200 will be showcased. It is just for people to understand our ability. And some of the Indians, stupid fellows, still they believe till the missionaries came, we were all tribes. Fool! World's tallest structure, granite structure, till 120 years before was ours. No, why granite structure? Even now, world's tallest granite structure is Tanjore temple. Even now. 1000 years record unbroken. It was the world's tallest structure 120 years before. Now it's not world's tallest structure, but world's tallest granite structure. Who do you think built Cambodia temples? It's Pallavas from Mahabalipuram, from Kanchipuram. So just to tell them. And the most important thing is, all those carvings, I am going to do it with the original tools they used, not the modern day. I am not going to use any of the modern day machineries and tools for the main temple, including the measuring unit. I am going to get them everything from that original agamic. The way the steel is heated, beaten, converted into a tool, everything. I told them, Moolayam, we will forget we are in this century. We will just go back to the century, maybe 20,000 years before, how they constructed. Let's get everything of that and do it and show. Just, you see, it is a statement I am making to, see, the temple is a gratitude statement to Mahadeva, to people, to show the great, how great the whole civilization is. For him, gratefulness, gratefulness. Here, gratefulness, G-R-E-A-T, to the public to show how great our civilization was, to Mahadeva, how grateful we are for what he did to all of us or what he is doing to all of us. Gratefulness and this whole thing need to be made as a statement. So whether it's a metal or methodology, everything, I'm going to be bringing it back from the original. And I also told them we will not be even using the cranes and all that. We will be using the old method of making the mud bunk and moving them, using the animals and all that. Because, see, the whole building itself, I wanted it to be video recorded and live shown all over the world. The very building is a celebration. Not just after building, very building is celebration. Want to do 1 year Padyatra specially for this purpose in 2020. 2020, planning for a full year, I'm going to walk from Rameshwaram to Amarnath. 1 year with 10,000 people, just walking all over India to spend time with people. 2020, there will not be any program other than Padyatra and just spending time with people. Just walking. Of course, 10,000 people will be walking with me. Maybe 200 vehicles to carry our food and all the other items, transportation. Enjoying the river banks, forests, and time with nature. 10,000 people manifesting powers. Walking from village to village. What do you think will happen? The scene of Buddhism spreading will be repeated now. How the Buddhism spread. 10,000 monks walking from village to village. What will happen? That's only monks. Here power manifesting 10,000 people. The whole village will be manifesting powers. Just want to enjoy India and let India enjoy me. So planning for next year Kumbh Mela 2019, next year January Kumbh Mela. Before that all the Balalayam, everything. Balalayam is going to be like the same structure outside with one stone tower, gold coated. It will be something like a 40 to 50 feet tall stone tower and 5 Rajagopurams, which will be something like 120 feet. This will be the Balalayam. And after the Mulalayam is built, this Balalayam will serve as a Utsava Murti Sannidhi, where the Utsava Murtis will be worshipped and where the Archanas. See, in the main temple, there will not be any Archana or anything, because just for Darshan itself, there will not be time. Like Tirupati, you can only have Darshan and Arati, the camp for Arati. No other worship is allowed in the main temple. Because 12 Abhishekam is going to happen. 12 Kala Abhishekams. So continuously the rituals will be going on. People can have only darshan. They will not be able to involve themselves in any ritual. Other than darshan, nothing else will be allowed. So all the archana, all the other offerings, like people will offer the archanas and other, everything will be done to the Utsava Murti, which will be kept in the Balalayam, the present Balalayam, present structure. So people can spend time here. That will be more like a main darshan. This will be like energy darshan, where you can give letter, get response. So by next year, the Balalayam will be ready. So 2019 full year, I will be conducting the programs and everything. 2020 will be the one full year Padyatra, walking. From next year Jayanti, means 2019's Jayanti to 2020's Jayanti. Full year, Jayanti to Jayanti will be Padyatra. Before that, we will make 10,000 people power manifestors. It will be sannyasi, brahmachari, grihastha, all put together. 10,000 people will be walking. What a scene it will be. I think that is the only way the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma can be done. I need to get into the ground where people can see me, where they are living. I can't be waiting for people to come where I am living. Now I am sitting in one place to prepare these 10,000 people and make this science completely user-friendly. For that only I am sitting and working. So I have given 2 years for me now, 2018 and 2019. So 2020, before that 10,000 people will be ready to walk with me, manifesting powers. We will literally solve every person's problem in every village. The way we are walking, the path, route we are taking, physical healing or mental healing, or it's a too big visualization. How will you visualize? What will happen if 10,000 power manifestors enter into a village and ask people, tell me your problem now, come on, let's sort it out. Understand, 1,200 years before in Tiruvannamalai temple carvings, how the baby will be in the womb in 2nd month, 3rd month, all that is detailed way carved, it is there. Which scanning machine was there in those days other than the third eye? Very detailed carvings are there. Even Srirangam temple, the whole carving is there. Srirangam temple gives a week by week the whole picture of male baby and female baby. Any of you have seen that? Srirangam Rangaraja Mandapam, it very clearly portrays. There will be one Rangaranga Gopuram. In that next to Rangaranga Gopuram, there is a Rangaraja Mandapam. We have already collected some chunk of 80-90 to be displayed in this Balalayam. Work is going on all of that. We are also going to tell you the science of temple building story as per Agama and as per practical village level, ground level, all that. In those days, 2000 years before, when this Cambodia and all these civilizations were flourishing, two communities from India moved. One is agriculture community, another one is business community. These two community only traveled and installed civilization. Of course, kings went, that is different. But the common civilian, these two community only went. So Nagarattar and Saivavelalar. Saivavelalar agriculture community, Nagarattar business community. So wherever, when they go in the ship, the Saivavelars, they will carry that veil for their protection. Once, if they reach the other side safely, they will just put the veil and start a temple. That is why all the temple outside the India, started by Saivavelars, there will be only veil as a Pradhana Murti. Pattumalai Murugan Goyil, Tannimalai Murugan Goyil, Gedaram Murugan Goyil, Nallur Murugan Govil, Sannidhiyan Sannidhi Murugan Goyil, all these temple. The main deity will be only veil. It will not be deity. Because they cannot carry that heavy deity in the ship. It will only be the veil. And all the temples started by Nagarattar will be Kavadi. Because they will carry everything in the form of Kavadi. So the moment they reach the other shore, they will worship the Kavadi and the screen cloth covered by Kavadi. Kadirgaman, Darachila, Murugan. All the major temples started by Nagarattar. The Kavadi and the screen only will be the deity. All the temples started by Saivavelalar, only the veil will be the deity. So this is the way the temples started. This temple planting and temple spreading. We are going to tell you all this history also as like a exhibition when you come next time to see our temple. There's a lot of juicy information on history of temple building. That's going to be one of my big contribution also, this temple building science. I'll be known for common mass for my Gurukul and temple. Common mass will never understand all this Vidyapadam and life is continuous rhythm, Sami Onnada, all that. They will remember me only as the Gurukul kids do all magic. That magic Gurukul and big temples. The Swamiji who builds big temples. That's why they will remember. பக்தன் சோழனும் பையன் பாண்டியனுமே இதை பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கானுங்கன்னா நாம என்ன வேலை பண்ணி ஆகணும்? இல்ல நாமே வந்து போனோம்னு மறந்துருவானுங்க மனுஷ பசங்க. All these are paribhasha. Paribhasha means, these horse brokers will have their own language. Pari means horse. Paribhasha means horse brokers all over the world, any country, the horse brokers will have their own language to do the negotiation. That is why that word paribhasha got evolved. Even now in Indian villages, these cow brokers and they will have their own language. You can't understand. You will be standing there right in front of you, they will finish the negotiation. And which you can't understand.